Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to get started with the Timesavers add-in. So when you downloaded the zip file, you would have seen that there are two files inside that zip file. So there is the Timesavers add-in info file, that's a PDF, and then there is also a PowerPoint test license activation file, which I will deal with a bit later. But first of all, we're going to go and look at the info file. So I'm going to click on that. And now you can see over here that you've got your cover page, which has a big download now button. Please be aware that if you have already downloaded the add-in, so if you have now purchased a license and you already downloaded the add-in when you were testing out the trial, you don't need to download it again because the add-in file is actually the same whether you're using the trial or a license. It's just that when you purchase a license, you are then able to activate or unlock a particular part of the add-in or the whole add-in if you purchase a license for the full add-in. So that is what that PowerPoint file is for, which I will still show you how to use. But over here, if you've already downloaded the add-in file, you don't need to download it again unless you are downloading an update, if I have let you know that there is an update. So in this case, I have not downloaded it yet, so I'm going to go and click on download now. And that'll take me to a Google Drive folder, which has all the different versions of the add-in that I've created so far. So over here, you've got version 1.0 and version 1.1. Now obviously version 1.1 is the latest, so that is the one that we are going to go and download. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to right click on here and click on download. Okay, so now it is downloaded. I'm not going to go and open it straight away. What I need to do is I'm going to go to my folder again, and I'm going to go to the downloads folder over here. And you can see now this add-in file is over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it and paste it into a folder that I'm going to create. But first, let me go and create that folder. So I need to put the add-in in a particular place where I will always know where it is. I can't keep it in the downloads folder because that's going to cause problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder over here named Timesavers add-in. And then I'm going to go to my downloads and I'm going to cut it. You can also just drag it in, but I'm going to, in this case, cut it, and then I'm going to go back to that folder and I'm going to paste it in here. So now you can see back in the downloads folder, it's not there anymore. Now it is in this folder over here. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to go and load this add-in in PowerPoint. But before I do that, I just want to show you, if I right click on here and go to properties, you'll see that there is a security message at the bottom saying that this file came from another computer and might be blocked to help protect this computer. So what you can do is you can check this option over here to unblock it, and then Microsoft wouldn't block the add-in from working. But because there are likely to be updates to this add-in, what I would actually recommend is, rather than having to do it every single time you download an add-in, a new version of the add-in, is to actually make this folder that it's in a trusted location. And if you do that, anything that is put into this folder will then automatically be unblocked. So that's what I'm going to go and do. I'm going to go to PowerPoint, and then I'm going to go and make that folder a trusted location so that I don't have to, every single time I download an update for the add-in, I don't have to go and unblock it every time. So to do that, I'm going to go open PowerPoint. If you're already in a presentation, you can go to File and then down to Options. Otherwise, if you open PowerPoint straight away, you can just go to Options over here, and then you get this PowerPoint Options window popping up. Now, there are two things that we're going to be using. The first one I'm going to use is the Trust Center. That is how I'm going to make that folder trusted. So I'm going to go to the Trust Center and click on the Trust Center settings over there. And now I need to go to Trusted Locations because that's what I need to do. I need to make that folder a trusted location. So I'm going to click on there and then add a new location. So I'm going to click on Add New Location. And now I'm going to go and browse and find that folder. So for me, it is over here. So I'm going to click on that and click OK. And now you can put a description in here if you want to. Timesavers add-in. You can also check this over here. If you are going to end up putting other things in here that you want to be trusted as well, you can check that and you can have subfolders which then will also be trusted. So that is an option as well. So if, for example, you wanted to put other macro-enabled things that you purchased from me into this folder, so say, for example, you want to put my bingo generator in here or my matching game generator in here or something like that, then you could make subfolders and put them into those subfolders, and then so long as you check this, then it'll always, all the things in those subfolders will also be trusted. Okay, so now I'm going to go and click on OK. And now you can see that that has now been added as a trusted location. And so now I'm done with that, so I can click OK to go out of that. And now, back in the PowerPoint options, if you have gone out of this again, then you just need to go to File, Options, and it will bring this up again. So now we're going to go and actually load the add-in. So I'm going to click on Add-ins, and I'm going to go down to the bottom over here and choose PowerPoint Add-ins and click Go. And now you can see that at this point, I don't have any add-ins available. I'm going to go and add a new add-in. So I need to go and find that add-in. So to do that, I need to go back to that folder that I put the Timesavers add-in file into, open it, and then I've got it over here. So I can just click on that and click OK. Now, as soon as I do that, you can see that 3 new tabs have appeared: Timesavers 1, Timesavers 2, and Timesavers 3. Okay, so I'm going to close that, and now we're going to go and have a look at those. So you can see that at this point, this is the trial version. Okay, now like I said, the actual add-in file is the same regardless of whether you have the trial version or the full version. It's just that when you get the full version, you get a file that activates the license that allows you to use the full version of the add-in file. So the add-in file itself doesn't change, except for when I make updates. Obviously, then you have to replace it. But if you have the trial and you go and purchase a license, you don't need to reload the add-in because you've already got the add-in loaded. You're just going to activate the license. Okay, so now in the Timesavers 3 tab, you have over here right on the end the license group. So if you are going to choose to purchase a license, I want you please to first test that the license activation works, because I don't want you to go and spend money on a license and then find that after you've paid for it, you can't get it to work. So that is just, it shouldn't be necessary, but just so that we can be absolutely certain everything is working fine. So that is where this PowerPoint file comes in. So I'm going to open this up. And with this file open, if I click the Activate button, actually, let me close it first and open PowerPoint again. Okay, so now, if I go and click on this Activate button, you'll see that it doesn't do anything. Okay, this Activate button will only work if you have specific files open. So at the moment, the only file that I've got is that testing file to test the license activation function. This button over here is just for you to see if you have tested or not. You're not going to actually use it for testing itself. So if I click on here, you can see it says it appears that you have not tested the license function, the license activation function, or that if you did, it didn't work. Okay, so I haven't tested it yet. So what I need to do now is I need to go and test it. So if you are going to want to purchase something, you can go and test that by clicking on this Activate button, but only when you have the right PowerPoint file open. So that is this file over here, the test license activation file. Okay, so now that I've got the test license activation file open, I can use this Activate button to test if the license activation function works. So if I click on here, now you can see that this has changed to a green check mark. And if I click on this now, you'll see that it says that the license activation function is working. So now if you do choose that you want to purchase any licenses, then you can go and purchase them knowing that the license activation will work. Okay, then you also have this button over here, Hide Trial. So this allows you, if you have purchased the license for only 1 or 2 pieces of the add-in, so say you've purchased the license for just the word puzzles or something, then you can click on this button and it will hide all of the trial versions that you don't already have licenses for. If you want to see them again so you can test any of the different pieces, you can just click on that again and then they will all show up again. So I've just done that so that all those trial versions don't get in the way if you are wanting to only have the things that you have licenses visible in front of you. Obviously, I can't make the Timesavers 3 tab disappear like I can with the Timesavers 1 and Timesavers 2. If you don't have any licenses for any of the functions in Timesavers 1 or Timesavers 2, then they will disappear when you hide the trial versions. But I can't make the Timesavers 3 tab disappear, otherwise you won't be able to use the buttons in this license group. Okay, so I'm going to uncheck that again. So this Activate button is what you're going to use. Then also, if you have purchased a license, then you would open up the license file, which would look similar to this, and you would click on the Activate button, and then it will detect which file you have, and it will activate the particular section of the add-in based on the file that you have open, or if you have purchased the license for the whole add-in, it will then enable every single part of the add-in for you. So that is how you start off using the time savers add-in. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what you will do if there is an update for the add-in. So in order for you to find out about the updates, the easiest way is if you sign up to receive notifications about the update. So to do that, you can go back to the PDF, and if you just go down 3 pages, you'll find that there is a big button that says notify me about updates. So if I click on here, it will take me to this web page where you can go and fill in your email address and your name so that you can then receive updates. You can also choose to sign up to receive tips for using the time savers add-in. That would be extra ideas that I have to give you that you could use, or different ways that you can use the time savers add-in that aren't necessarily in the information PDF that you received. Okay, so now I'm going to go and close that. Okay, so now that you have signed up for the updates, when there's an update, you would then receive an email to tell you that there is an update and explain to you everything that is in that update. So once you have found out that there's an update, the way that you would then go and download the update is to go back to this file again and then go and click on the download now button. But before I do that, I need to make sure that PowerPoint is closed, because if I try and replace the add-in file while PowerPoint is open, it's going to give me a problem. So I need to close that. I don't need to save anything because I didn't actually do anything there. And then I am going to go and click on the download now button, and it will take me back to that Google Drive folder again, and I will go and open up the latest one and download that file. Okay, so now that that file has downloaded, I'm going to go back to the downloads folder again, and now you can see that that time savers add-in, the new version, the updated version, is now in my downloads folder. So I'm going to cut it again, and I'm going to go and put it back, or put it into that same folder that has the original, or the previous version. So now I'm going to go and paste it, and now you can see that it brings up this message asking if you want to replace the file, and you're going to click on yes. Now this should always happen because the time savers add-in name should always be the same. I will always make sure that when I upload it to Google Drive, the file name stays the same, which means that when you download it, it should be the same and you should be able to just replace it. Just be careful if you download the file multiple times and you have multiple versions in your downloads folder, it will automatically put in a number after the name, which would then change the name. So just be aware of that. That's why you always just copy, or you don't copy, you cut and paste it into this folder so that there isn't already a file with that name in the downloads folder. Okay, so now I'm going to go and click on replace the file in the destination, and it has now replaced that file that I had over there. And so then when you go into PowerPoint again, it should automatically have the updated version of that add-in file. So all the updates that I have made, all the changes that I've made, any bug fixes that I've made would be part of the update, and they should automatically be working in PowerPoint. Okay, I hope that has been helpful, and I hope that you will have a fantastic day. Thank you. Goodbye.